Hello everybody, this is TechStack here. Back for more, and guess what? We're gonna test one thing and then we're gonna try working on something called a trebuchet. Because it's been there too long without any real progress on it. But what we want to test first, and you might be able to see some changes on the screen in the bottom left corner already. There is a Siege workshop queue. It has no picture, so it's a missing texture thing. But what I want to test now is this. We've got a town hall place down. I am on the server, not in a single player world. And if I were to kill this thing, replicating me losing, let me get some damage potions here. I'm going to go creative temporarily, get some damage potions. Handy damage too, yes please. Okay, so let's kill this thing. What we're going to see is this thing will die, and within the next RTS tick, the server will pick up that my team has lost and set everyone on that team to spectator if I've done this correctly. I've tested this in single player, but I have not tested on the server, which is what I want to do now. So we shall see. The thought process in doing this is it'll avoid some confusion for those times when we're not sure if someone lost or not. Or who's lost first, or things like that. Now, there will be a little bit of delay between the time of it dying and me going into spectator mode. When I go to spectator mode, I should have a different interface altogether. Boom, it just happened. So I'm in spectator now that I've lost. So I can still stay connected to the game, but I cannot interfere the overall progress of the game, right? So if there's other teams still playing, I'm no longer part of it. My troops would still be here. My buildings would still be here. But they're on autopilot. I can't influence the outcome anymore.
I'd say disable chat, but I mean, if they tell in
that's
chat
true.
where somebody is, then they're gonna see it anyway. So
Yeah, both teams would see it, unless they did like a private message. But even then, that's pretty low and cheaty. It's not something like I'm on Team Blue, I lose, and then Team Blue goes and kills Team Red's town hall. I can't do that anymore, right? Unless my troops were already on their way there, I can't issue new commands. That was my main thing. I didn't want somebody to participate in the game that shouldn't be. So that's taken care of. Cool. I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna restart that server just so it's always running. I'll clear the map and start it back up. Okay, so that's effectively game over. Now, one thing that didn't play or work correctly with that test was I wanted it to be able to... Hey, Fusion. I wanted it to be able to play a sound as well, but it didn't for some reason. Now, that could be my sounds are just so quiet. I'm not sure. But it should have played a zombie death sound. But we'll figure that out eventually. Not super concerned about that one. So, next, trebuchets. What I want to do with trebuchets is start the process of having their state saved in some form, meaning the animation of them trying to do an attack and rendering it correctly. And Fusion, you are first, and like, there's a huge delay tonight. You are the latest first person that we've had in a long time.
True.
It's just no one showed up and said anything.
I think yesterday was clear. I can't really remember though.
Yeah, you might have been first yesterday.
No, because I remember going, no, 9.
Oh, okay. So we currently don't have a, what's I want to call it, a variable to hold what the current animation state is on the entity itself of the trebuchet. I think we're gonna need one. We've got, look, Rainy Bland, where's that? this. So this fireball attack goal is the process, and it's got some information on it. But I think we need to pull this out of the fireball attack and put it on the entity instead. So let's work towards that. We're going to private. Let's make this a float. And attack step, I guess. I don't know a better name for it. I'll call it attack step. It's going to default to 0. This fireball attack goal does get a reference to it, so we can take this attack step out here. That'll give us an error, so we say this dot, what is it called? Control entity. Did we make that private? I think we did. Yeah, let's make it public then, just so we can reference it. That'll have to create some method to access it. So this should work now.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes or so.
Okay. So it's a unit entity right now. Trebuchet. Okay, that should fix most of that. Now, I'm not 100% sold on the fact that this thing should use the new AI system. I might need to revert this back to using the old system where it has an update tick and we basically manually override it all. Okay, now we won't worry about the fact that this is greater than 1 and it tries to shoot. We aren't worried about the shooting aspect of this right now. What we're worried about is whether or not this thing will render correctly based on what we're doing. But in order to render it, we need to spawn it in, and we need to spawn it in a team so we can control it. So to do that, we need a structure.
I'm done with work. Was I the first one?
You were not.
Darn it.
There were other people done with work first.
How about now?
For what? You confusing me, man.
I do that.
Okay, there we go.
So,
So,
how's it going?
good. Very good. Why is it giving me an error? Oh. Okay, that should make it happy now. Cool. So we're gonna run the game. We need to build a basic siege workshop structure for me to use. Just temporarily. So Reaper, I've been adding lots of little things today that are quality of life type stuff. So what is what good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Copyrighted.
Well, duh.
So you've been working on little things, just killing bugs?
Killing bugs, making it so things are ready for the next step, which is siege weapons and stuff like that. There's an end game now. Like, it'll put you in spectator automatically when you lose.
Oh, nice.
Just another thing that lets you say, hey, I'm done, I lost. Time set day. Clear weather.
Do you have it based on time limit? It'd be kind of cool that the person after they lose, they have like 10 seconds, and if they get to kill the other person's stronghold, it becomes a tie.
So
Or would that be too trolly?
it'd be pretty trolly. The way it's set up is every 10 seconds we have a loop that just checks various things, and that changing you to spectator mode is part of that. So if you get killed right after that 10 seconds happens, it'll be 10 seconds you have left for your in spectator. If you get killed 9 seconds after the last one, you have less than 1 second before the next one happens and you get turned to spectator. So there's no real set time. It just happens at that interval when it checks. Now, that said, if you had commanded your troops into the enemy base, they will continue on. It doesn't kill all of your troops yet. So if you already issued the move command to move them into the town hall and nobody's defending the enemy town hall, they will die too. And all you can do is watch at that point. You can't issue new commands. Okay, so we need to build something that can be a siege workshop. So let's, no idea what it should look like, so we're going to make it out of stupid stuff, like iron ore. Because I just need something I can place down. Siege workshop. Oh, that's the builder item. Siege workshop control block, that's what we need. Okay, and we need some targets. Summon TS RTS target entity 17.5 4 and 76.5. Okay, and then I got a structure block. Give text stack structure block. Wait, which way am I facing? I am facing to the north. I guess it doesn't matter for this demo one. Minecraft. Let's get the name from the code. Items, builder items, siege workshops. Siege workshop. Red. 100. Food entities on. And done. Let's see, we need to where is the bounding box? 3 by 1 by 3. Nope. 0. Up, there we go. And we just say save. Then we control middle click that. Come over here. Go to load mode and load it. We then kill these. Kill that. Give ourselves a, not a structure block, but a structure void. Put the structure void there. And we'll break like those. Ish. And we'll make this the 0 version. Hey Aaron, Not playing in a world that can be joined right now. It's single player at the moment. We do occasionally test this though, and we need multiplayer for that. Okay, so let's grab these files now. I don't have a good folder open already, so I'll create a new window. From here, show in System Explorer. RTS, run, saves, whatever the latest world is, generated, Minecraft, structures, there they are. Okay, so if I pull those, please go on the other screen, there we go. And let's see. Open new window. Main resources, assets, RTS. Oh, data. Here's the correct folder. And there they are. Okay, so now if I just rename these other ones to green. So I got them named green now. Paste those in there. There's greens. Maybe yellow. Yellow. Let's make one for blue. Okay, all the teams should have one now. Come down here and refresh this just so it picks up our changes. Let's go to our tile entity for the siege workshop. And we're spawning a unit for the team. And we're spawning the unit of what goes into the siege workshop. So whatever that unit ID is what gets passed through here.
257.
And this is the trebuchet's ID. So we've already got that set up. So that's cool. So we need to add the ability to buy a trebuchet, I think, is next. So we can add it to the unit recruitment screen. Okay, so in here, boop, boop, and we'll say trebuchet. And this is going by pikemen. Answer, so we need another one. 19, number 20. And we can call this one trebuchet. Okay, and that gets sent to this packet to the server. This gets handled here. And we say this effectively. Well, with the trebuchet attributes and trebuchet there. And I want to make sure that is spelled correctly with how we have it in the research screen. There it is. Okay, so we're good there. So we need trebuchets unlocked to be able to buy this, basically is what this does for us. And it'll be config unit cost. Oh, do we not have trebuchet in here? We don't. Okay, so we'll have to add that one.
What are you calling it? Shelby Shay?
A trebuchet.
Is that like what is that?
Well, it is a French word, just from the way it sounds, but it's a big siege weapon. So it's got a counter rate on one end, and whatever it's throwing is basically tied to the big old arm. You
It's a
crank that
different
arm.
type of catapult.
It's a catapult on steroids. It's what's gonna wreck face for all the watchtowers and walls. Look it up on YouTube. There's lots of trebuchet videos. We'll see what they can do. Yeah, that is
All I'm getting is chubby girls.
trebuchet. Chubby girls.
Oh, like a catapult.
Yes, what fire is that?
I told you, Tech. You just should have called it a catapult, and Rip would have got it.
I think we had this conversation like 2 months ago.
Yeah, about the time that I was making the model for it.
Yeah.
Because the model's already in here. Like I've showed it on stream what it looks like. Okay, and then
I would pronounce it a trebuchet.
trebuchet. We gotta save this one. I didn't save it. That's why it's airing off here. There we go. So now we could buy a trebuchet if we had the research unlock. And I'm gonna cheat for the moment and make it so that we don't need to do the research. Okay, and in the mod research, I need to have it unlock as well, so I can click the button. True. And then on our unit recruitment screen, left offset, whatever the Y value is. We don't have a image for it yet, so those are gonna have to do for now. Trebuchet, and we can say mod research trebuchet. Okay, so let's run this and see if I can buy a trebuchet. Now, the way I've got the tech tree set up right now, you have to research battering rams before you can research trebuchets, so that'll have to change temporarily till we get battering rams added in too. Trebuchets are cooler anyway.
Right.
Okay, so I need to get the structure builder for the siege workshop first. There we go. Plop. Okay, that's our siege workshop. Ugly as all get out, but it works. And now under unit recruitment, we've got another button. It's not showing the research there, the resource amount, so let's fix that real quick. Now it's just a matter of doing this. Grab. There we go. And there's our cost, so we can buy one. I need to mute my music for a minute, I think. I think they're going into the queue. Oh, and it died! No, it died on me! Crap! Siege Workshop builder died somehow. Come on. Place down before you die. Spawn one in. Just give me one. I don't know if it's looking through the right queue or not.
Derby.
RJR. Oh, I know what's wrong. Let's see. So Siege Workshop. No, when we do the recruitment. Don't have a planned date, man. When I get it done, that's what we'll say. Add to proper queue. Okay, so that's what the issue is. We don't have it set up in the add to proper queue yet. So unit ID Trebuchet. And it will be under the Siege Workshop. What? Add to... No, not stables. We don't have a method set up for it, really? Add to Siege. Here. Get Siege Workshop. Okay, let's restart again. Let's see what other code I've forgotten or missed. So Fusion, the part of the reason I don't know is I'm not sure how complex the animation is going to have to be. Like, to code it out for the animations. And then after that's done, then we need to get it firing correctly in the right angle and all that jazz. So there's a bit of effort there. It might be a day or two of work. It might be I pull my hair out and it's 3 weeks of work. I just don't know. You laugh, Fari, but you know how it is.
I do know how it is.
Okay, we got our Siege Workshop, but we need to spawn it. Oh wait, those are not it. Cool. Siege Workshop control block. There we go. Got one down. Recruit a Siege Workshop, or a Trebuchet. Disappointed I'm not seeing it down there. Still nothing spitting out yet. Not good. Not good at all. It just destroys itself. That's all. It just gives up on life. Game rule. Do weather cycle false. Game rule. No time set. Rule. Do daylight cycle false. Always day, never cloudy. So are we actually getting it added to the queue or not? I need to mute my sounds. No, I said. Okay, I can hear the button clicking. So unit queues. I want to see if this does get called. That would be a no. Okay, so is this getting called? No. Pikeman, Trebuchet. I'm gonna guess that this is not being reached somehow. That's 20. That's 16. That's 19. Let's click it again. Okay, that's not even getting reached. Wow. That is, so step over stuff. My guess is we already have something set up as 20 and I just didn't realize it. $20. 16. Oh, what? Okay, so on that screen then, I know what's up. Unit recruitment screen. By Pikeman. Yeah, it still says Pikeman there. Okay, let's let the code run. And go back, and now click it. Okay, it's taking our money. Hey, some dude. Okay, now we're getting into the trebuchet code. Cool. So run that. We get to add to the workshop queue. Siege workshop should have spit out the message down here. Added ID 5 to the workshop queue. So those should be in the queue now. Which means when this one runs, boom, we get a trebuchet. And it's automatically attacking. Awesome. It's trying. There's just no animation on it yet. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we've got a bug down in the bottom. No, wait, we don't have an icon for this yet. That's why it's not showing up. They're probably there. We just can't see them because it's not set up. Okay, let's break all that. Now that we've got some trebuchets we can actually work with, that's amazing. Die, please. Because there's too many here. Let's try and select him. He gets a funky black outline. Again, like the horseman. If we try and tell him to move, he's ignoring commands right now. Okay, why? Oh wait, he does the retreat command. Oh, he was locked in on trying to attack something. Okay. So let's take him over here. I don't know how I'm going to visually make these things look correct when they move. And he is facing backwards from where he should be, so we need to render him flipped or rotated 180 degrees from what it currently is. So let's focus on the visual aspects first. I'm going to do split screen here for a bit, and we're going to get into our rendering code for this thing. So render, trebuchet, render. And if we take this off, there he goes. Tell him to move. Oh, he doesn't point right, does he? It's like the looking direction is completely different than the move direction. So if we go, tell him to go over here, he points the right direction, tell him to go over here, he points the right direction. And then he does this funky thing when he's moving two different directions. To the west and to the east is incorrect. We had something similar with the mounted units. So let's take a peek at their code. Rotate -180. And it's off of the entity yaw position, which is not messed up. Dead amount. So that is the rotation along a different axis altogether. We are looking for the one that goes along the y-axis. In fact, let's maximize this code here. Okay, and then another rotation. Another rotation by 15 degrees. That's probably the thing he's holding in his hand. Okay, so we probably need to go to the minion model, or the mounted entity itself. Let's see. Pop this open. Go not to this, but the model. And mounted model might be the one that's calculating it, because you can rotate it in either place. Rotation itself. Not seeing any rotations here. Okay. What are these doing? Just calculating at degrees. Nothing to do with the actual rotation that's applied, though. Could be the scale F of -1 on that first one, possibly. Let's look at the trebuchet renderer. We are doing a -1, but I think we're rotating in the wrong direction, wrong order. A, going to the east, west, north, and south, all up here correct now. Cool. Okay, so step 1 done. Now, the next piece is rendering the pivoting of this thing to the correct location based on the attack step that's on this entity. Yay. We need to look at not the trebuchet render, because we're just calling render on the model as one piece. We need to split up that model into multiple pieces and render them each independently. So here is our trebuchet model. This parent is the top level in the hierarchy of this model. And pivot point is the next one. Now, it is added as a child to everything else. I think if we do this, and I have to restart Minecraft for that to take effect, then render that independently down here, we can cause everything to rotate based on how we want. Basically, give it a different amount of rendering or rotation. Render and F5 parameter on that, okay? And we can say we want to rotate this along the x-axis in this case, so geo. Let's do the same type of rotation call we've got here. Geo state manager, there we go. Okay, and that's going to rotate around the 180 on that axis, which we don't want. We want to be along the, it's either the X or the Z axis. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out as we go. And it won't be that. We'll just say entity dot attack step plus 15. That way we get at least some rotation, because attack step by default is going to be 0. Okay, so we're going to have to restart this real quick. We're basically in machine mod territory now, Fiery, as far as how I made things animate. So doable but annoying. Takes a lot of type a number, see if it looks good. Type another number, see it looks better. Type a third number, regret everything.
Right.
Oops, did not mean to restore that one. That was the wrong one.
Well, as long as you don't forget to dot your I's and cross your T's like you did in that mod.
Okay, so it is rendering somewhere in the world. Cool. Let's take the rotation off of it first. Okay, that breakpoint hit, so I'm just gonna keep doing. Okay, so by removing the parent on this, it no longer renders in the same position, which kind of makes sense to me. Oh, especially with this doing this. Okay, so let's comment this out for a moment. And we've got nothing. Okay, how far from origin am I right now? Pretty far. Zero, zero, where are you? Like in this general area. And you're not even under the ground? What? Kind of expected it to be under there. Okay. So that wasn't it. Guess I did go kind of far away from it. Maybe it no longer was rendering there, yeah. So let's select it. Let's tell this bad boy to move with me. Come on, little trebuchet. Gotta get you to render. Where's your head at, huh? What'd you do to it? You stay right there. And you're nowhere to be found. Wow, cool. Where's the hole? Oh, post render. That should be render. There we go. It's rendering a bit high. Probably because maybe that? Not sure on that one. It's adding the box in the wrong position somewhere or something. So let's do our rotation on it. Okay, so it does rotate forward. Now that looks like it's not rotating in the spot we want. So we definitely want to undo this then. Let's put this back on here. I forgot completely about this stuff. So let's do that. And let this be a child again. I'm going to try unloading the world and reloading the world and see if this lets this get set without having to completely restart Minecraft. Don't know that it will. Yeah, okay. So let's restart Minecraft then. Bummer, man.
Remember all we had.
So those are not going to equal 0. It's going to skip that and go into this. It's going to translate to where it needs to be and then rotate based off of the Z first, the Y, and then the X. Okay. Okay, so let's go back into the trebuchet renderer. Trebuchet model, I mean. And on this entity, attack step equals 2. Cool, so it will flip up once we get this thing animating then. So 1's too extreme. 0's okay. 1 seems to be rotating backwards. 2 45 degrees up. Not sure why 1 went the wrong direction though. That's interesting. 3 should be 90. It's actually more than 90. 4. 0. Negative 10. It's like it's expecting something more than... It's like 1 is a full rotation. No, that's not even it. What the heck? So 0. 0 puts it flat. It's like these are not in 360 degrees, is what I'm saying. So what does 0.5 do? Come on. 0.5F, there we go. Really tips it up that much. About 0.1. One, 2, 0.14. So this is in 2 pi. So is this, what is it, degrees? Or not degrees, radians? Degrees to radians. 1 degree equals... Okay, so 180 degrees is 3.14. Okay, so we just need to convert it from radians, or into radians, sorry. So that would mean we take the degrees times pi divided by 180. Okay, so if I want it to be down 10 degrees, we divide that by 3.14, or we multiply by, sorry, times 3.14 divided by 180. Now you're crashing? What? Why did it crash? It was in set rotation. Oh, it didn't save. That's what's wrong. We played it without saving the change, so it still had a debug error, or a compile error. It this is the math, right? So we take it times 3.14. Yeah, that's not exactly precise because pi is bigger than that, but close enough. While that's loading, can we do math helper dot pi? No. Radians. Normal math class so far. I mean, I don't want it to be super huge. What's it defined as? It's more than accurate enough. It also makes it be a cast error then because it's in double instead of float. Thank you, Blue Boy. Blue Boo. I want to say Blue Boy every time. Cast argument 2 to float. I thought I did. Oh. Yeah, you're still gonna do it, aren't you? Okay, save. Gazer! Hello, Mr. Duck. Okay, that's better-ish. So we've got a figure that we can rotate it down by. Now we need to figure out what that amount should be. I want to say 45 degrees. That's pretty close. 50, 55. 60, do we dare? 60's too much. So 57. Right there. That makes it down to the ground at the tip of the trebuchet. Diffusion.
Hello again.
So now we need to find this pivot point and work with that one. So we're going to set something as the child of the sling attach. Okay, so if we set the sling attach rotation, set rotation angles for that model, and it's going to be the same stinking equation but inverse the sign on this, I think, times -1, and these will be zeros. Yo. Okay, let's take a look under the ground here. Oh, so it's pointing straight down. So we want to have it be... You'll be able to help tomorrow night? Okay. So that sling should be on the ground right now. Do we do this? That puts us straight down. So order of operation perhaps. Definitely go positive. Will this be a 4-frame animation? Why can't you make it smooth? We're trying to figure out the points between, and then we'll interpolate. from there. I gotta get what it's supposed to look like at each step, basically. Okay, that's fairly okay. So this particular one will basically be what the trebuchet is set up at all time, if it's loaded. So my goal in doing this is trying to figure out what the math needs to be to do this without having to hardcode values. Once I have the math, then we can just start playing through the numbers. Right, so there's some relationship between these two. It looks like it's minus 90. Oops. So where's my plus minus? 57 plus 90, 147. So 57 negative plus 90 is 33. Negative minus 90, negative 147. Because those are 90-degree angles to each other when they're upright. Whatever we're adding to this to take it down, you should be doing a similar thing here. The two of them needs to add up to 90. $57 plus 33 equals 90, yeah. Okay, Gazer. Good night, man. The two of them need to equal negative 90. Right, so if we put this one at 60, then this one should need to be 30, so that there's a negative 90-degree difference, or 90 degrees between the two of them. So if this one were 45, this one should be 45. No. So when this starts coming up, this needs to start swinging down. So if this were at, just do the next one. And we'll set it to 1. So if this were, say, 45, negative 33 is our starting point. We've reduced this by 12, so should we increase this by 12? Which would be 45. Let's go the other direction with it. 21. That might actually be okay, because as we swing that out, there's a centrifugal force also being applied to it, right? So if we went to step 2 and we had it at, say, well, if these were even numbers, right? So 57, and this is 12 more, so we add 12 to this, so it'd be 33. Yeah. 1, 0, 1. This number just needs to be higher still. So I don't want to go on going into the ground. 27, 29. 32. And this is what I'm saying, it might need to be interpolated, right? I was hoping that I could figure out what the equation needs to be, to just have it add 12 to it every time or something like that, but for every step, but I don't know if it's gonna work that way. Okay, let's go to step 2 then. Not 21. Let's have that at 0. Alright, let's get this thing up here. What do we? We kind of wanted it to accelerate, right? So that it looks cool. You know, when it first drops down, it should be slow, and as it drops down more, this should speed up. So do we do another 12 off of this to make it 21? Let's do that. And at that spot, this is okay. Thank you, Blizzo. Blitzo. Sorry. Let's try the next one. So number 3. So we took 21, or took 12 to it before, right? So it was 12 plus 12, 45 minus 21 is 24, okay. So we should at least go 24 more. That would give us 3. If we add another 12 to that, that would be 15. So we're at 3 times the speed, basically. And then this should be really kind of starting to swing out there a bit. So let's make this positive. Okay. And we'll go to step 4. And I don't know that we want to add any more than what we've just added. I guess it'd still be accelerating, wouldn't it? So 12 times 3 is 36, so we'd add at least 36 to which we're at 48. That's probably okay. And then let's say that that's starting to go up even more. So 20, no, let's say 30, 40. Yeah, let's do that. Number 5. Okay, so we're at 48 plus 36 again is going to be 84. Oh, guys, move it up to step 5. Cool. And at this point, like, this thing should be almost straight up, in my opinion. So let's add a full 90 to it. Now, did we go too far with it? Maybe this is gonna lag behind, isn't it? This isn't quite full straight up, so we don't want the arm to be up, so it's gonna lag behind. So let's say 70. There we go. And then it's gonna rock past on the next step. So 6. And let's do 110. Go to step 6. And at that point, we're past 90 with this thing, right? So it should be like 100 itself, right? Really flipping over. And then we should have like a cooldown kind of thing on it going, where step 7 is it's swinging back and forth. So 7, and let's see, so we'll go another 5, I guess, on that, and this thing just flips over to like 20, right? It's really just launched the thing. Okay, and then step 8. You know, I want it to be interpolated, but I'm almost curious, like, do we need to? We need to have like a secondary number that we're passing into this other than the step, like the number of frames this have occurred since the last step. And then, and I don't mean like visual frames on the screen, I mean like ticks on the server to really like drive it home. Oh, cool. Okay, and then step 8. I think we've gone far enough forward with it, so let's start bringing it back. 110. I didn't see it actually move. 7 to 8. Let's move it back more. 105. Oops, 105. 90? Sure, 90. And then this, I guess it can kind of flip around. I don't know. Not gonna be happy with that, but I think it's probably appropriate. We'll just let it like swing all the way through. Okay, so we've made it past the halfway point, so let's go like back to 70. And then this is like 200. Okay, and then start moving forward again, say 80. 230. This should be 9. This should be 10. Number 11. Hey y'all.
It wasn't me.
It was you that crashed it last night.
Oh, yeah, that was me.
See? Let's do one more. Attack step 12, and it'll be like 95. We're just gonna leave this straight down. So it's a 12-step program, apparently. And then the reloading sequence can take place after that. I'm not worried about that yet. Okay, so now the other piece we need to do is the counterweight. So let's go back to step 0. And that counterweight shouldn't be like that. It should be straight down. So the counterweight attachment, I believe, is the correct spot for that because everything is based off of that one. So counterweight attachment. I'm going to do the same type of setup. we're in step 0. Why are you not airing? Okay, you're airing off or something. There you go. Okay, so wrong direction. Or wrong pivot point, one of the two. Oh no. It's not pivoting correctly. Not at all. It's like it's pivoting down here instead of up there. So 0 looks like that. Let's just do 90. Oops. Yeah, it's pivoting off of this part instead of this part. Counterweight attachment. What else is there? Okay, let's do this. Block bench. This is why I created this model, and we'll see what the proper pivot point is for this thing. Oh, there's an update. We'll have to check that out later. Okay, so counterweight attachment. If we rotate on this, yeah, that's wrong. So its pivot point is currently negative 11, 28. It needs to be 40. Oh, come on. Yeah, it needs to be 40. So how is it 10? That's not good. It is 11 for the z-axis, but it's only 10? So if I start undoing this, it goes down to 28. Not 10. So we either do 40 and trust that what I'm doing is correct. Oh boy. Or it's somehow scaled in that z-axis, and I just don't know. Let's try this pivot point of this object. It is at 38. The actual pivot point is at negative 38. What the heck? And it's negative. We're gonna do negative. We're gonna... is it because of the other objects, or like it's an offset from the other objects? That could be as well. Because this one's 24, that one was 2. But the sling attachment shouldn't affect it. Our sling end shouldn't affect it. Yeah, it should be... I think it should be negative 40, guys. We'll find out. I do have to restart for that change to take effect, though. Whoa, it's 10 o'clock already?
Apparently.
I've got
no, it's only 8 for me.
You and your mountain time. 4 a.m. for you, Blue. Wow. Well, thank you for watching.
Is that Blue Boy?
No, Blue Boo.
What was that?
Blue Boo. Okay, so setting it to negative 40 puts it up in the air. And it's still rotated in the wrong position. Let's set it to 9 or 0 degrees. Interesting. 10. It's rotating along the bottom of it instead of the top. The heck? Set rotation point. The rotation point is not where it's actually attached. So I wonder if I need to change its attachment point or something. Or its cube list or something silly. Okay, well, I hate to do it, but what I need to do is undo this change. So we get that number back to where it was. So when we don't rotate it, it's at least correct. And I need to go to Blockbench and tell this thing to export as is the block model so that that block model's correct once we get this pivot point in the correct location. Because right now it's way down there. Okay, let's just undo everything. There. Let's move that pivot point up to where it needs to be. No, no, I say. And then save project. And we're going to export this to a different folder on my computer altogether and look at that specific property. It's Blockbench. Yeah, Trebuchet 2 Java, sure. Right in that folder. Let's go find that folder. Okay, if we open this, our counterweight attachment point is -2. Now, does that change our cube list as well, is the question. It does.
You can do it.
It doesn't change the other ones, though. Just that one, which is what we want. Okay. So, boop. And boop. So the reason I'm not using this Java file together, there's some errors in this Java file when you export it from Blockbench. I won't have to deal with again. So we got to restart yet again and run this. Getting quite the big commit going on here. Okay, let's take a look at it here.
I'll be back.
Hey, it's looking good actually. I think.
Let me take a look.
The heck?
Did he spawn it?
It's not slid down. So that text file, let's get that open again. There's some other change in here that I didn't see that needs to be made.
That might explain it. I'm like 2 hours behind on the stream. I was so confused. I was looking at your screen and hearing you. I'm like, what's going on?
So that is definitely changed. Counterweight end, maybe? Yeah, those numbers look the same. What else changed? We're adding it to the pivot point, so the pivot point settings changed? That's crazy. Let's see. pivot point, new model. -38. And it's adding its cubes. And those cubes are the same figures, right? Yep, looks the same. Okay. And then counterweight, we're setting the rotation point. Oh, this is different. Right there. And that's what's getting added. Okay, we'll try it. I didn't pick up that number had shifted there. One more time.
I'm back.
Hello, sir, back. Of the Fired Kingdom. The Killers of Joys.
And we're I forgot the word. Never mind.
Loses its comedic effect if it takes that long to get across.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said just forget about it.
It's supposed to be foggier. We gotta travel tomorrow like 2 hours to my parents' house. So I won't
that sounds like fun.
be around during the day because of that, because that's... Yeah, it'll be evening when we get back, like dinner time or so. Hey, there we go. I bet that's right now. And it's just upside down because I told it to go upside down. So, there we go. Now if I go -33, get rid of the extra 0 there. +33. We get a weight that looks like it's hanging down. Yay! And that's kind of how I'm going to leave it right there, because it's like hitting up against this. So let's go to step 1. And we're going to do this and set our rotation to what we think it should be. Actually, 33 doesn't look too bad still, because it's still hitting up against there. Okay.
2-2.
Bye-bye. Okay, let's go 2. And we're still not good at this one, because this one's starting to be rotated back down, I think. So let's say 15 to cut the difference. 10's too much. 17? Hey, Fusion, it just does that automatically. You don't say anything for a while. It's the AFK.
Oh no, I wasn't here. I got dragged away.
Oh, okay. Like it left like 30 seconds ago. It kicked you out.
Huh. Well, if it was smart, I would have done 20 minutes ago.
Okay, we're looking good so far, in my opinion. So we need to go number 4.
I usually go number 2.
Reaper's special stream.
Thank you.
You're a special little guy, he is.
I think that says more about you than me.
Let's see. We're at 70 for the one. I mean, that should still be down more. Let's set it right at 90. That's too much. Let's do 84, because that's what the 1 is. You know what? These numbers are awful close to what the inverse of this is. So if I set this one, we're going to play these back and put these at the inverse and see if I can just multiplying by -1. Use the same number. That will make things easier if I can achieve that. So -84 does look pretty good. It's straight down. And then let's go no, let's do it. 48. 15. 21. Leave it at 33 because that's kind of like a max for it. So -84. So 110. Or step 6. That's still pretty good. So let's go step 7.
I do have to ask, what's number 4?
What's number 3?
Explosive diarrhea.
Constipation, maybe? I don't know.
That'd be 0.
You're the one in the medical field, I mean.
You can't divide by something that's not there.
Ooh. Let the wisdom speak.
Didn't you crash your whole server by trying to divide by 0?
I don't think it was a server, but yeah, I crashed some stuff. It's all good. It's not like I said divide by 0. I said divide by this variable, and that variable just happened to be 0, so...
It's kind of the same thing.
I didn't know it was going to be 0. I didn't think about it. I'm just going to put these numbers in as the inverse of whatever the first rotation is. And we'll just see how they look. Because I think this is going to work out. Hello. 9, save. Says Reaper. Reaper's apologizing for Reaper's behavior, huh?
It happens sometimes. It's crazy war.
Okay, so let's do this. This is going to be moving at light speed, but that's okay. We're going to add to attack step every frame. And if attack step is ever greater than 12, then we'll set it back to 0. Go, gadget! That is too much of a light speed for me. Well, let's cheat a little bit. 30 frames a second.
God.
Let's cheat a little bit more. 10 frames a second. Oh wow, that looks good! I'm happy with that. That is trebuchet-ish to me. What do you guys think?
Pretty good.
I mean, I know it's like super choppy because it's 10 frames a second, but we can deal with that.
Is there any way to fix that choppiness? Is that just going?
No, it's just I'm not done developing it yet.
Probably smooth out the animation.
I think that looks perfect.
I think those 12 steps are all we need to show it, and then we just need to interpolate between them based on your frame rate, and it will look good then.
Maybe add a bit more detailing, but besides that, it looks cool.
A bit more what? You cut out.
Detailing.
In what way?
So like, right now it's just all one color. You might want to make
Oh,
some
yeah.
piece of iron or something.
Yeah, I got you. The model is all one model right now. We need to split it up into separate models so we can have different textures, like you're saying. Like the legs might be logs instead of planks. Or something. I'm focused on the animation right now only. And I think that like when it's at step whatever straight up is, that's when it fires. And it fires from clear up here towards whatever it needs to. Good night.
So with how the trebuchet will work, are you going to have one main projectile and then have upgrades later on?
So it's going to fire basically a gassed fireball.
Okay.
Now, I might make it my own fireball, but it's going to look like the gas fireball and cause an explosion where it hits, but it won't break blocks is the main difference. It will just damage the targets. Yeah.
Can every team have a different color fireball?
Why? You
Because
just-
we can make
the
things
green,
hard
you're
on you.
getting attacked by the green team.
That's true. I guess the trebuchet doesn't show its team very well, does it? Right now.
I mean, it could very easily be changed. Like, just change some of the wood to like little pieces of green trim or something like that.
Sure, it can be easily
Or have like a
changed.
little fellow just stand underneath of the color of the other team.
Or what you could do is just give it the glowing effect like you do when you start your event.
It has that when you select it. It's just funky.
But like the actual fireball itself, it will just show everyone
fireball.
that glowing effect.
Gotcha.
Also, how will they move?
Look at that. It's like lagging behind the. They move like this. It just moves.
But like I mean forward, back, or like reposition. Or is it just one place to
It's gonna move. It's gonna look funky though, because it's gonna slide along the ground. For now.
You could add like circles, I guess. They're not hard to make in block. So for wheels, I doubt that look back then still.
I think ideally, if it's moving, it should be able to shoot, and if it's in that, maybe it even looks a little different. Like there's a setup time and all that, but that's probably a long ways off. I want to get this thing able to attack, and then we'll deal with all that making it look right kind of things.
Function first, then prettiness second. And I was kind of half listening to that.
Okay, so we can stop this animation. This works for me. So then we take that out, save that, and in our fireball code, where are you, fireball code?
The only thing I didn't like is when after it gets to the reaching point where it returns, it looks a little weird when it comes back, or it's like really.
Right, I just did the attack part. I didn't do the reset to pulling it back down. It just jumps right now.
Oh,
So the attack counter, where are we looking at? Attack step, there we go. Let's get our code window bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so each step has its own amount of time that it's at that step. It appears we are not going to have that because we've got 12 steps to deal with. So we don't need to do any of that. We're just going to add to it every single time. So this would be 20 times a second. So it would be 1 second of animation to fling it. Might be a bit extreme. We'll deal with that in a bit, I guess. Attack step is greater than 1. That's when we start to spawn the fireballs. So if it equals 12, and then this equals 12. Oops, this equals 0. So reset it. Hey, we're back. Aw, Minecraft died on me in the background or what? I don't see it running. It did. You punk. Oh, there's an error somewhere. Run again. And this whole counter thing I don't care about. It's like how many fireballs it's shooting. We're only gonna shoot 1. At least for now we will. Reset, don't care. Counter here, don't care. There, don't care. There, don't care. Hey, did I say I don't care? Because I don't care. Oh, we got the move code there though. Okay, put it back. Where are we spawning the fireball at? So there. Setting the Y position to be the eye height divided by 2 plus 0.5. So let's like add 5.5 to that instead of 0.5. Because it needs to be up in the air where that full sling arm is. And wait, we're not firing it at 12. We're firing it at a different step. So this only needs to take place for 12. And this needs to take place at a specific one. And that specific one, I can't remember what the number was. It's in the model. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Blue ready, start. Yeah, sure. Start. Okay, so that thing's on Team Blue. So if you set up a summon TS RTS target entity right there, he's shooting fireballs at it. They are not up in the air like I wanted first off. Animation's also not playing. It's a horrible shot. This attack step's not getting sent back to the client, so it's not rendering it correctly. Okay. Let's get that number way up there. Hey buddy, there's a thing for you to attack. Is it out of your follow range? Are you just spawning them too far up in the air where you don't see them? Why is he not attacking it? Oh. That'd be why. There we go, now you shoot him from way up there. That's probably too high, but hey, it's something. And it'll say entity. Heck, let's just do it this way. Just so I can get the approximate height of where we need to spawn these from. Let's try 10. Too low. 12. Ooh, that's about right, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that for now. His aim is obviously off, but look how far he's shooting because of it. Did they hit the ground? Holy crap. They're just all over the place out here. Alright. So that's the RNG values on this. So it's got some randomness to it, if you will. We can manipulate that. So this mount, right? This next Gaussian value. It's probably the accuracy setting. So right after the entity, we've got a D1 plus an accuracy value. And D1 is set to what? It's X position. Okay. And it's D3, which is probably at Z position. Yep. And D2, which is where we need to take into account the fact that we're way up in the air. So this controlling entity 2 point, we just say 12.5. Are we now going to aim down more? Not really. Save? Yeah, we save. Interesting. Living bounding box, the ground below the bounding box, and its eye height, so it's aiming at the middle of that bounding box. And it's taking our Y position plus our eye height divided by 2. And we need to add 0.12. Like that. And all of a sudden we start aiming for the targets correctly. Cool. That is good. The next thing we need to do...
That might be a little fast.
Yeah, it's fast. I know. We're multiplying by F, and F is going to be like an accuracy factor, right? I would assume. The square root of D. What's D0? The distance. Okay, so it's a distance factor. So the further it away, the more inaccurate it becomes. Which is correct. It should do that. So it's just this next Gaussian value. Okay. We're multiplying that by 0.05, this inaccuracy factor. So it's making it smaller. But I think if we put a 0 in front of that, that's going to make it even more accurate. It'll be like a sniper almost. Yeah, he is. I think that's okay for short ranges like that. Now, if we had something way out there, and he's not going to be able to see it probably, because his follow range is pretty small. Yeah. But if he could see that, he would be able to attack it and be accurate at it. Let's see when he gets into range. Wait, let's do a move command. Attacks. We need to get him to face the direction of whatever it is he's attacking. Always. Ignore this head rotation stuff. Okay. What are the properties of the small fireball entity that we can manipulate?
Oh god, it's moving by itself.
Uh-huh.
It moved by itself.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna have someone pushing it, or is it gonna be remote control?
So we were talking about that earlier. Ideally, I think it should change its appearance, like it's been broke down and then carted around, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh.
Maybe we'll just have a guy looking like he's pushing it or something, like you're saying. That could be cool too.
What was that?
It could be cool to have somebody pushing it, I was saying.
Have like 4 people just pushing.
Yeah. Okay, so it's currently doing 5 damage basically per fireball. So we can override this class, create our own, change this damage amount, and be done. So last parameter is amount, yeah. Okay, so we could like make it 100 or whatever we want it to be. Cool. Go-go gadget spinner. Okay, so let's... I'm trying to think through how I want to interpolate between the frames. So right now each frame's doing this. We need to get that information about the task step back to the client, so we probably need a data manager thing on the entity itself. I need to remember how to go about doing that. So data manager dot add? Nope. Dot set. Takes a key, which is a data parameter key. F3. Any data manager. Okay, so set call hierarchy. Data parameter. Okay, so that's how it works. So you create the key. This is on an arrow. So let's look for, what's it called? A blaze, because that's what I based the fireball on. So if we look at the blaze, it's probably got something similar already set up for us with a similar type that we can reuse. Just need to find the blaze. Zombie should be close to blazes. Blaze, there we go. And on fire. It's a bite. And this on fire parameter gets passed, gets registered on registered data. That's what we want to do. We don't want to say on fire. Instead, we're going to create our own. Should be an integer. Do we call it a float or an integer? Integer. Float. Huh. Float it should be. Attack. Step. Insert air dimensions to complete. Right. Nice call, Reaper. Come on. Okay, thank you for finally catching up to me, Eclipse. Doing some funny things, I know. Float is an option. So we say trebuchet entity class. Yeah, I think it really needs to be a uppercase float there. So let's see if we can do a call hierarchy on this, see where it's used as a float. To accept, of course. Absorption. It is the uppercase float. Okay. So we're all good there on that. We need to register attack step. And we're going to say float. 0 is our default, sure. All good there. Then on our blaze, the on fire attribute gets set somewhere in its code. Is charge set on fire. We are simply going to set it, similar to this, in our tick event of this class, which we don't have, so we're going to create that, our tick method. Oops. Tick. There we go. Do super tick, and then this, which will be attack step. And attack step. And this was the wrong one. Okay, now we can say in here another public last attack step so we can see if it changed. If last attack step does not equal attack step, then we will send this out to the clients and set last attack step to equal attack step so we don't spam the client every time if it doesn't get changed. Run it. Let's also manipulate our trebuchet thingy, my bobber, in here to get this out of there. So it doesn't automatically play the animation. Blue, ready, start. Okay, so it's not animating, but it is in the correct orientation now. That's awesome. So summon TSRTS target entity. Realize it's there. Oh, it's not shooting it. Dang it. But why? Set our breakpoint here. So the last attack step is 11. And attack step is 11 as well. And this is on the server thread. Okay, we might be missing something in the setup of this whole data manager stuff. Oh, right there. We need to get that value. Okay, simple enough. Trebuchet entity. Attack step. Go into our trebuchet model. And in here, instead of saying the attack step itself, we're saying get attack step, so that should cover it. In theory. Stop the breakpoints from happening. Okay, it's all the way up. There we go. Awesome. It's playing the animation and then stopping the animation when the thing's dead and it can no longer attack. Set our frame rate back up to 120. It should not go into hyperspeed now. How cool is that, guys? Yeah, the angles are funny. We'll get that there eventually. The fact that it's even shooting makes me happy. Oh, come on. You gotta see that. Jeez. His follow range or his attack range is so small. I'm happy, guys. That's what I wanted to accomplish for tonight. I know there's a lot of extras we need to do to this, but I also need a break. And I think this is a good breaking point because I need to get up early tomorrow. So I'll catch y'all later. Bye.
Good night, chat.